welcome in ESPN college basketball analyst Seth Greenberg to the show. Coach, first question I had is a former leading man at Virginia Tech. What's your reaction to the James Franklin news today on the football side?
Yeah, I mean, look, it would be a great hire. He understands kind of the geographic footprint, and he's recruited the D.C., Maryland, Virginia area for a long period of time. They need someone who can bring some energy and a vision. So I would think if that thing is finalized, I would think that's a home run hire.
Coach, we're going to go to a sport that you know and certainly love, and I'm going to go to a conference that I know and certainly love. Purdue is widely believed to be the class of the Big Ten. Monster win over the weekend on the road in Tuscaloosa, taking out Alabama. What team do you feel, though, is second best in that league? It's going to be highly competitive. Who has impressed you so far? And I'm looking for one team in particular, and I hope you nail it.
Yeah, look, you would think potential on paper, it would be Michigan. If you just look on a piece of paper, the second one would be Illinois. Illinois is probably the bigger question mark because, obviously the Eastern European bloc, or however you want to call it, they're probably the biggest. They're probably the biggest question mark per se. But in terms of toughness, shot making, skill, size, they're interesting. Michigan has not played as well, but they find ways to finish games, and they've got their front court obviously has depth and versatility. Their backcourt's got to continue to play a little bit better. I'm not totally sold on Cadeau. His decision making, the turnovers sometimes are head scratching, but I think those three have kind of separated themselves thus far, but a lot can change. So
Coach, you absolutely nailed it. Yeah, that's true. And you absolutely nailed it. Sammy P and I are die-hard University of Illinois fans. So kudos to you, my man, for giving some love to our Fighting Illini. Let's look at the champions.
Isn't that the reason you have me on the air?
Yeah, man, of course. That's exactly right. I want the Illinois propaganda, Coach. I want you to just roll into my recency bias and my adoration for my fine institution, so you get an A+.
I'll sleep better tonight.
A quality answer. We're talking to Seth Greenberg, a two-time ACC Coach of the Year, currently an ESPN college basketball analyst, and follow him on X at Seth on Hoops. To get on X at Seth on Hoops. Coach, let's talk about the Champions Classic tomorrow. Duke is now a whopping 10.5-point favorite against a somewhat uninspiring Kansas team that may not have arguably their best player in Darren Peterson, who's battling a hamstring injury. What are your thoughts about this matchup? Do you believe Duke's going to run him out of the Garden?
Yeah, that's an interesting thing. Yeah, I just don't know, especially without Peterson. I did Peterson's first exhibition game against Louisville. He just scores it so easy. He's such a tough matchup. He draws two on ball screens. He's a willing passer. He can turn the corner. He shoots the three. He's good off the ball. He finds windows. Without him, I just don't think they can score. Yeah. It's really that simple. I just don't think they can score. I don't think they have enough ways they can play through Bedinga. That's great. El Marco and Jamari McDowell, they just haven't taken that next step. White's a good player. I'm not sure he's a great player. Pillars, I think, has to play well if they're going to have any chance of staying in that game, because he'll be matched up, obviously, with Boozer. So, but I just think Duke has too many ways to score. Man, Boozer's fun to watch.
Here I am looking forward to Michigan State, Kentucky, though, Coach. I can't wait to watch Mark Pope have a chess match with Tom Izzo. What's your key to that matchup?
To Michigan State, make shots. They got to make shots and take care of the ball, and then they've got to be physical enough defensively to blow up all that zoom action that Kentucky's going to run. I think they got to take a page out of the game that was played earlier, and that was the Georgetown game against Kentucky, where they really, really kind of got into them and banged them around a little bit. But Michigan State struggled scoring. They've struggled scoring, and Kentucky's just got so many ways to score. They really do. Now, they've got to figure out how to use that $22 million roster, and they got to figure out combinations you can't play, but I just think that Michigan State might have a hard time. I just literally left Tom Izzo's film session and walkthrough, and it was really impressive. And if anyone can kind of figure it out for one game, I would not bet against my guy Tom Izzo. And they've had 2 really good days of practice, 3 good days of practice, if we include today. So he feels good about his team, but I mean, I just don't know if they have enough ways to score it.
Yeah, they're excellent on the glass. That one is going to be a hard-fought battle, to say the least. Again, we're talking to the great Seth Greenberg from ESPN. Coach, try to bury the preseason bias. Do you feel that Arizona is a true number 1 team in the country right now with the wins against Florida and an impressive win over the weekend against UCLA? Do you think it's going to take a win on Wednesday against UConn in stores to convince everyone in the nation they're the team to beat?
I wouldn't say the team to beat, but that would be a hell of a win. Now, this UConn team isn't at full strength. They still don't have Braylon Mullins back, and they've played limited practice days with Tyrus Reed. But look, Arizona is very, very good, and but as excited as we were about Arizona and Koa Pete, even though they won the other day against UCLA kind of took them out of the game. So that puts a lot of pressure on Jaden Bradley, who's been an incredible closer. Think about this. Jaden Bradley, in the last 5 minutes of the last 2 games, he's scored 11 points down the stretch for them in both of those games and been incredibly efficient. So, look, they're very good. They've got good depth. They've got some versatility, which is important. Clevis is an option up front. They can bring in Awaka. Delorso I thought that might be the best game he played. He's such a good connecting player. But, let's see what happens up in stores. But they're very good. They're one of those teams. We have more good teams in college basketball. We have more good teams because it's a great freshman class. We have more good teams because of retention. We have more good teams because of the portal. We got more good teams because we have more of these older international players coming over that are helping teams, improve quickly. So, they're good. They're really good. I think there are a lot of good teams right now. I'm not sure there's great teams, but there are a lot of really good teams.
Coach, I think we've been doing this maybe every year since even when you were coaching with Gonzaga. Oh, this is the best Gonzaga team ever. I feel like that's been said 6 times in the last 12 years. But you watch them defend and the way they can put the ball in the basket with EK and go inside out, I think they're as good as any team that Few has had. What say you about the Zags this year?
I think this is one of Mark's best defensive teams. I think that's the thing that really, really impressed. The length of them. When they go small and they have, Grant Foster and they have Worley and they have Inconsciente, I think that's the right pronunciation. They're long. And then, when they have those 2 big guys in, they play post-to-post basketball and they got some versatility. Mario St. Supri is going to be really good and continue to get better. I think this team this is his best defensive team and most versatile team in terms of how they can do some things defensively.
And the last one for me with Coach Seth Greenberg here, ESPN college basketball analyst. Can Louisville make the Final Four this year? What do you think? Well,
they're one of those teams that are in the conversation. Obviously Mike Helbrown has been terrific. Once he got over to the Darren Peterson playing 1-on-1 in the first exhibition game, has been great. The perimeter guys, Conwell's terrific shooter, can also get to the rim. Isaac McNeil is a big-time shot maker, so they have space. They have the 2-headed monster in the post with Fru and Ali Khalifa. They've got tough matchups. They're very, very good. Will they be in the conversation? Yeah, they'll be in the conversation. There's no doubt. No, I'm not a hot take. Oh, they're going to be in the Final Four. But they're one of those teams that's going to be in the conversation. It's too early. We've been into this thing 10 days. I'm not going to sit here and every 10 days change who's going to be in the Final Four. It's just I don't need people at me all night long.
I love your impersonation of Brad Evans on the way out, Coach. We appreciate your time on the show. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me, guys. Appreciate it. Stay well.
That was definitely, as we say goodbye to Seth Greenberg, ESPN college basketball analyst. I think he directly impersonated you right there.
He absolutely nailed it. There's no question about it. Illinois, Final Four, America, bank on it.
That was intriguing when he talked about Gonzaga, and I've been a guy who has liked to try and stay even keel with Gonzaga because last year's team I liked offensively, but I hated their defense. For him to say, not that it was Mark View's best team, but best defensive team, I think that speaks volumes about how people feel about Gonzaga, and he's totally right about the size. I'm not saying they should go 2-3 Jimmy Boeheim zone, but if they did, can you imagine the length with all those bodies that he's got there in Spokane? Holy cow.
Yeah, here's the good news. The great thing about Mark Few, and this is what he does traditionally every single year, he challenges his team, he challenges his roster with a murderer's row in non-conference play. Now, he's already faced 3 formidable teams. Maybe a couple are going to be tournament teams, maybe only one. We'll see about Creighton, but they crush Creighton. You go on the road and you beat Arizona State 77-65, and then you beat Oklahoma at home as well, and in convincing fashion, 83-68. And defensively, this team is shaken up and really shaping out to be an outstanding one in terms of that lockdown defense, whether running the full floor there and challenging shots in transition or set up in the half court. They've only given up 0.921 points per possession. That's the 4th lowest mark in that category in college basketball. So, yeah, we'll see what they can do against Alabama, Maryland, and Kentucky coming up. But Gonzaga, they're definitely a viable team as it currently stands.